Hello, little man. Oh, I sure have heard a bunch about you. You know, your daddy and I were friends. We were in that Hanoi pit of hell together for over 5 years. I hope you never have to go through an experience like that. But you see, when two men are together, like your dad and I were, for such a long period of time in that situation, you take on certain responsibilities for each other. I'm sure if I had been the one not to make it, Major Coolidge would be right now speaking with my son Jim. But I'm here speaking with you, Butch. I've got something for you. This watch. This watch belonged to your great granddaddy. He bought it in a general store in Knoxville, Tennessee, back during World War I. He was Private Doughboy Aaron Coolidge. Now, back at that time, most people wore pocket watches. Not a lot of people wore wristwatches. But your great-granddaddy bought this watch on the day he set sail for Paris to fight the Germans. He wore this watch every day during that war. This was his war watch. And when the war was over, he came home to your great-grandmother. He took the watch off of his wrist and he put it in an old coffee can. And there the watch stayed until your great-grandfather gave the watch to his son, your granddaddy, Dane Coolidge, when he went off to World War II. Now, unfortunately, your granddaddy Dane's luck was not as good as his old man's because he was killed on Wake Island with the other Marines who were there. But before the Japanese took the island, your granddad Dane gave this watch to a man named Wanaki. He was a gunnery sergeant for the Air Force. He had never seen Wanaki before. He gave it to him to give to his infant son back in the States. Your granddaddy was killed 3 days later. But Wanaki, true to his word, took this watch to your grandmother and gave it to her to give to her infant son, your daddy. Your daddy fought in Vietnam. And the day he was shot down over Hanoi, your dad was wearing this watch. Well, your dad viewed this watch as your birthright. And he'd be damned if he was going to let any gook, any yellow-handed slopehead, get a hold of his boy's birthright. So he knew he had to hide it or it would be confiscated. He hid it in the only place he knew it wouldn't be found, up his ass. Your dad wore this watch up his ass for 5 years. And when he died of dysentery, he gave the watch to me. I wore this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass for 2 years. Then after 7 years, I was sent home to my family. And I'm here today, Butch, to give the watch to you.